Yeah, you're right. Good, man.
Yeah, you're good. Hey, everyone. So, welcome back to another episode of He.Motions, where we seek out the male point of view in order to improve our relationship with ourselves and others. I am your host, Alicia, joined by Mark, Chris, JJ, and Holiday. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Yo.
Hey, Alicia, what's going on, guys? What's
Hey,
going
guys.
on?
So,
Greetings.
if you're tuning in with us, shout out to our returning viewers. I know we got some faithful folks that tune in every week, and we thank you for that. Even if they're not with us live, they catch the replay. So just know that we love you and we thank you. And we're looking forward to your additions tonight. If you are new to this forum, first off, welcome. And second, what keeps this dialogue new and fresh is that our viewers are very much a part of the conversation. So we're going to let you know right now, don't be shy. Leave your comments in the chat. Our only ask is that you do it out of respect and out of love. So please let us know. We know some of you are already tuning in. Let us know what city you are joining us from. And so, fellas, it's good to see you guys again. And I know we are following up on last week's discussion. And just so JJ knows, he is not off the hook. Jay, I know you weren't here with us last week, but you definitely need to let us know what your inner demon is. So we're going to kick off with that.
We just gonna kick off with that.
We're just going to kick off with that. Well,
First of all, let me tell you, I missed y'all
do,
last week. Oh, go ahead.
You missed us. Well, we have already. I ain't even going. Should I say what Andy said?
Oh, I see what Andy said already, man.
Y'all know Andy starts early in the chat, right? So welcome, Andy, and he shares his thoughts on the Cowboys. Holiday, I'll let you respond to that.
Hey, listen. What I've realized, guys, in the past couple of weeks, since I've been wearing my cowboy paraphernalia and really putting out that positive energy into the world, my team has been doing their thing. So you guys just need to get comfortable with this, right? Because you're going to start to see a lot more of this every week. And I'm sorry for all those Dolphins. Okay, I'm done. All right.
So luckily this isn't ESPN, so we won't spend too much time on it. But
that fall from grace is gonna be hard. That fall from grace is gonna be hard, Holiday.
We have Aisha representing Miramar, Florida. What's up, Aisha girl? We also have Andy joining in, faithful viewer from Pembroke Pines. What's up, Andy? We got some other folks tuning in. We got Georgia from Fort Lauderdale. Hey, Georgia. So I'm super glad to have you guys a part of it. Again, keep us in the loop on your thoughts as we go along in the conversation. But Jay, last week, thank you for catching the replay. So you already know how vulnerable it got real quick. Mm-hmm. So the fellas shared. I'm gonna give you a moment. What were your thoughts on last week's conversation?
Last week's conversation was good. It was like a lot of stuff. Like I wanted to take notes. I didn't because it was happening too fast. It was like, man, let me stop it, pause it, man. Because I was like, everybody's demons, like with the addiction, the anger, and then what you say, like your passiveness, Mark, you know what I'm saying? I identify with all of that. I embody all of those in some kind of magnitude, So it's like I identify with it. And so I guess, this is like one of my, I have a lot of demons, man, like a lot, And I've known this because like y'all was doing last week, you self-reflect, you be by yourself, and that's got to be in moderation because I went ham on being by myself. You know what I'm saying? I went I don't even know what I know because I don't talk to nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gathering all this information and I'm out there talking to people and I know stuff. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know. I realized I knew that. Because I don't even talk to nobody. And
you didn't have that exchange of info.
Yeah, it's like, how do you not know this? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you not know this? This is like common sense. Like, you don't know this, with no, I don't know what I know and what people don't know because I don't talk to nobody. And I shut down and I, like, when stuff starts getting like, I'm a super deep thinker You know what I'm saying? And like I start to get overwhelmed, and I just like can't shut it down. Like, ooh, you
Mm,
know, and try to, and then you are getting frustrated, and depression starts kicking in, and
mm,
you figure out as you start to know yourself, like, yeah, I need to get out of this because it's about to start creeping. So you
mm.
try to get out of it, and you're happy again. You're back at it, but you forgot something back here that you needed to take care of. So you try to do that, and you're missing out over here, and it's like,
Whew,
shut
it's a
down.
lot.
You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
lot. So
Back into the same.
if you had to bring two of the demons to the forefront as the front runners in your mind, just to recap, we know Holiday talked about addiction and was it procrastinate? No, impatient, being
Impatience.
impatient.
Impatient. Yeah.
We talked about Mark's passiveness. We talked about Chris and Uncle Demon from last week.
Yeah.
And those aren't the only ones we have, right? Because I know I reeled off like seven. But what would you say are like your front two?
And the front two that's really like I know this is why I am the way I am and this is why I move and I'm trying to get over that hump. Childhood. That's the biggest one. Like
So the past.
innocence got taken by, what I'm saying, an older cousin.
Ah,
So it's like, and I've been like, just holding that, like 2 years ago, like I just told my parents, like I've been holding that for like ever.
oh my God.
Yeah, so that's the biggest, like, and you read all them trauma from all that, man, and just holding that. And that's why I was glad I was in sports. I had an energy. I was real destructive at the house,
Mm,
breaking, writing, cutting, burning, like real destructive, So there were signs, and I like therapy. Like it's hard to go to therapists because I don't really trust them. Because back in the day, I didn't know how to get all this off.
mm,
My parents was like took me to therapy. I didn't know how to express this. You
yeah.
know,
And at the time, we wasn't in the community. We wasn't talking much about therapy anyway, so you
no,
wouldn't have even known how to
no,
approach it.
right.
Wow,
And then
that's
yeah,
that's
so that's
that's heavy.
yeah. And then college went to another one, but like I was on full ride scholarship, so it's like uh, I feel like they was just the therapist was just there for the money.
Mm.
Like he didn't really, he gonna get his little check. It's the university. Oh yeah, that's medicated. Yeah, let's get them in and out. Get them in and out. Take forever long. Yeah, what do you need? Pills here. You know what I'm saying?
You just felt like a product.
I was a product. 7th grade, they would put me on Ritalin. Didn't know what was going on.
Jay, hold up.
Yeah,
We wasn't ready for all. We weren't
yeah.
ready yet, Jay. We ain't even did the icebreaker yet. Like come out the gate, like
I mean, you tell you
Feeling
threw
them
me in the
layers
front,
back.
so
Feeling
this
them
is what
layers
it
back.
is. You
peeling
know
the
what I'm saying?
layers back, right? Like
I
my
mean, this is the big part. I feel like this is a huge weight. Like this is what I need. Like for me, and
wow.
y'all talk about oh man, like passions and like for me, like being in front, I have to open up. Like I'm on the camera, like I'm a comedian. I have to be out there. So for me to be freed up, I have to give it to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So some of y'all, and there's a lot of people going through the same. You just hear by ear, like, oh man, I went through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, fool, like that's, you like, man, like mad at yourself. Like, how can I let this happen to me? You know what I'm saying? I'm 24. Like, but I can't. I take it to the field. I'm about to, yeah. You know what I'm
So
saying? I'm coming straight downhill on somebody and just blow up. I could do that. It's legal on the
okay, so
street.
hold on. I gotta
I
get
can't do that. It's a lot, man. I'm telling you, I got demons, man.
so let me throw it to the fellas. What do you all think about what JJ just shared? Because he's right. There's a lot of there's more forms or more places, if you would, where women are able to express, you know, history of molestation or being taken advantage of and things like that. But there's not really a space for men to disclose that type of information. And then just to hear the internal battles that he had, like to share or not to share. And what do y'all take from everything that he just literally, yeah.
Um, I respect it because this the social stigma attaches. Men not supposed to show your feelings, especially where I grew up. It's like you cry. We are cry for your girl. I'm with it. You're a girl. Stuff like that. So, but we need this because people need therapy, especially black people. You understand? We need therapy big time. And because it's shunned up, it's shunned upon and stuff like that. But this is the only way for you to really, this is a start. You have to vent first. Remember I said last week, you have to identify, you have to isolate, but what JJ is talking about is, you know what I mean? You have to forgive, sound hard, and you know what I mean? And some kind of guilt there. So that's a couple demons right there within itself. And it's kind of hard to get where you're going when you have all this baggage, to get clarity on everything. But you can get through it because trust me, a lot of people go through worse.
Yeah, I know.
Trust me.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I just words.
Yeah. And that's why this just makes me realize, like, you never really know what somebody's dealing with or going through or has gone through, man, until you hear stories like this. You think you got problems. You think you got demons until you hear someone else's story. And like Chris just said, you realize, man, it could have been a lot worse. It could be a lot worse, man. But, man, I hats off to you, Jay. You know what I mean? I respect you, man. I salute you for sharing that because I agree with Chris, man. Others need to hear this, man. And this is like a two-way street because you get the healing from it, right? Expressing it, letting it off, man, not holding all that in you. And then someone else can actually hear that they're not the only ones may have been dealing with something of this magnitude, this type of trauma. You know what I mean? And they can kind of relate, or they can start to ask questions. How did you deal with it? How are you dealing with it? What should I do? What can I do? And you can actually start to help others with that, man. So, man, that's big, man. Big up to you, Jay. Real talk. I respect that, man. You take the crown, man, this week, man, because that was big. I'm still
man. I'm just saying, man, I'm just trying to release everything. Like I said, this emotions, man, is like this is it. You know what I'm saying? I get a chance to like vent and put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, and I appreciate it so much, and yeah, for real, man. It's
big up to the show. Big up to the show for doing this.
Big up to He.Motions for having
people need this. And like Charles said, this will make men start opening up. You understand? And address the mental health issue because trust me when I tell you, we deal with all of these things. And when we go around with friends, most of the guys, we try to act tough and like nothing is bothering us. More so than when we're with our women. So you can imagine how bad it is, suppressing and repressing. But we're about to change that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And one thing, just like Holly Chris said, man, big respect to you. And one thing that I think you hit on it, Holly, you hit on about, black, as a man, first of all, you're being brought to the forefront of not expressing yourself. Then as a black man, you're dealing with so much other issues just to survive that you really can't express yourself emotionally because that even further shows that you are weak or spineless. What's going on with you? What's wrong with you? And as we've learned from last season, everyone is human. We're human, right? We have emotions. So as far as somebody walk around here emotionless, is no such thing, right? And then there's no avenues or any safe place as a young man to go anywhere. And that's what Alicia was alluding to. Where is there that you can go to? There's no safe place where you can go and have this outlet now. In the age that we're in now, is more available to us. But, this has just become available. We come out layers and layers and layers that have to be removed before you even get to the center core of what you're dealing with, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so the more we reach back and say the more you reach back and pull up another, one of the stats that when I was looking into it, the race that has the highest percentage of anxiety and depression is Hispanics and Blacks. Have the highest percentage of and the highest, and among them the gender is among men. Black men have suffer from anxiety and depression more than black women. Now, again, that could come from women having an avenue to express themselves and be able to get that out where men don't. So you just 70, 80 years old dealing with all this built-in depression and anxiety. So yeah, definitely, man. Respect to you, man. Seek the help that you need. We here to support you. As all of our listeners, we here to support you. You guys call in and give us information also. We learn from that. So we learn from each other, and that's why this is a community of brotherhood and love, right? So much respect, bro.
Yeah, right on. I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate it, man, for real. I needed to hear that, and this is the first time I shared it with men. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't share this shit, man. I'm open. I'm saying,
Okay.
like, you just like, man, you going mad.
Alicia, do you need a moment?
Like
Alicia,
teasing
do
and
you need a
stuff.
moment?
Huh?
I think Alicia need a moment, Jig. I think Alicia need a
She
moment.
over there in her corner. This is all right.
Such a
Big Alicia.
Yeah, so yeah, man, it's heavy, man. So it affected everything, really, and I'm just trying to really get a grasp on that, and so I can, because this affects like relationships with women. I treat it different. Like, I don't want you to feel like I'm putting myself on you in no doggish nothing. So it's gentle, you know what I'm saying? I want it to be gentle, like I want it to be a clear understanding that this is about to go, and it has to be a clear, like the female has to start it, damn near.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like gentle like that. I don't want to be, accused of nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? That's not good at all. You feel me? That's like
Hey,
how I feel.
JJ,
But
I'm gonna share something with one of the readers sharing with you. This is from Veronica Lester. Hey, Veronica, how you doing? It's beautiful to express something that painful. It's freedom and to take back your truth. It's hard to discuss as women, so I know it's harder as a man. Thanks, Veronica, for that.
And you need to write a book.
Yeah, that's what I see there.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely got a book in me. Yeah, I got 100 pages.
Hey. Yeah,
Well, you
don't
just
take
take
it to the
100
graveyard.
pages.
Don't take it to the graveyard.
Right.
Too many treasures in the graveyard. Too many talents.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big demon, and then you got all these little demons that play along with that. They can grow and get small, and
It's funny how you were just explaining how what happened to you and just the effects of how you interact with other people because of that. Like when you say there has to be a clear, almost like a written consent agreement that this is going to go down because you just want to be that careful.
Yeah. Like it's tender, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's because it's in my heart, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying that I've done some, doggish stuff now. I'm still a man, but it doesn't make me feel good. So like a lot of that will kill me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of doing all that kind of stuff. That's just not my lane. If that's what you do, I get why you're doing it. I'm not knocking it. That's what you do. But for me, this is how I handle mine. You know what I'm saying? This is how I do it. It's a little different. So they kind of get wrapped up in a little web, and then I'm still get tired of you. It might not be in 2-3 days. It might be 6 months.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's just longer.
Yeah.
But it fit right in though. It fit right in because nowadays with the Me Too movement, you can't even buy a girl a drink.
Man, you can't do nothing.
Nothing.
I'm sexually assaulted.
Oh. Do y'all need some time to talk?
Hey, you look nice. You look nice today. Oh, sexually assaulted. What the hell? Well, yeah, you're on the right track.
Assault though.
Some of us gonna have a hard time.
Wow. Okay. So, Jay, I just appreciate you sharing that because I just know that that is not easy. And that takes like a whole different level of vulnerability to share
But
that.
I've been working at it. Like this has been when I really got like it was like 24 when I was like really at my like oh you know it was really like bad, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I gotta share it because I shared it with this little chick that I trusted. That's the first time I ever opened up, like 24. So, I tried it out, you know what I'm saying, here and there with people I trust, just to see how they take it.
Mhm.
And it's been, like a whole like rapping like talk like even, shaking up. Like I see, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
What you mean? Like, man, I should slap you right now, man. Every time, you know what I'm saying? Every time I should slap, you know what I'm saying? But I'm over here, like, with the passiveness, like, oh, yeah. Nothing,
Um,
what's up? That passive, that's where that passiveness comes from, you know what I'm
ooh, and I know that burned you. That has to burn you up because the
saying?
party wants to unleash Uncle Demon, right? Like you want to like unleash him to
I,
like get
I
back.
should, it'd be like, don't, so I haven't seen them in years, though. And it's like, good, because it's been brewing and brewing and brewing, and I'm just trying to get to it, like, So hopefully I'm in a good place.
So if you don't mind me asking, 24 was the peak of your anger, but
24 was the peak
how
of
old
my
were
anger. I
you?
was done with football. Huh?
Do you remember how old you were when it took place?
It was like, what? Like 3, like 9, 10, 11.
Really?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, play,
Wow.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we grew up, look, older cousin, like, grew up looking up, and then this happens, and I'm just like,
Stuck. Just
don't even know,
yeah.
you know?
That's a long time.
Yeah,
That's a
bro. And
long
then,
time to
like,
have that
go through all
fluid.
that, yeah. A lot of stuff, you just go through it
Oof.
and deal with it. And that's where I like a lot of passive, that's where a lot of anger comes from, you know. Addiction to self-doubt. Like that's how I'm addicted to that. Like I'm addicted to self-doubt.
Mm.
Like if things are going good, I will find a way to doubt
Just
something about it. Oh, this is going bad because I know I'm addicted to it. Things are going good. I love it. But I need that fix of being in a hole.
JJ brings up a good point that I want to throw out to the fellas and for the folks in the chat tuning in, because there's a couple ways that we might naturally handle stress. But I want to know if we was to ask your ladies, fellas, so don't go off of what you think, like go off of how your lady would respond. But which one would she say you identify with the most when it comes to handling stress? Would it be that you fight? So, like you become more aggressive or controlling? Would it be that you flight? So, you want to be left alone or you leave? Or would it be that you freeze? So, like you look okay, but you can't really comprehend what's going on. It's like you literally are kind of stuck. Which one do you think that she would identify, or which one would she say you identify with? Fight, flight, or freeze? Mark, which one?
Freeze. That I shut down. I think she would think. I think she believes I shut down.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Holiday.
I'm definitely flight.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Okay.
Yeah, I try to disconnect and detach myself from the toxicness, from the negativity, from the drama. So yeah, I'll be back, or I'll leave the room and I'm in another room, or I'm upstairs. I just at this point in my life, I've been through so much drama and so much trauma. Like I just don't even want to interact with it. I can't. You know what I mean? So if we just can't have like you see how my tone is right now? If our tones can't stay at this level and your octaves are raising, but my tone is still here, that's a problem.
All right. So
And
you,
if I address it and I say, can we just have this conversation, monotoned or in a lower level, if that's still a problem for you, I'm all right. We can have this conversation later. Or we don't got to have this conversation at all. and I'll remove myself. So I'm definitely flight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jay, would you say you're fight, flight, or
Flight,
freeze?
flight.
You
I'm out
flight
of there.
too?
Yeah, I'm gone. I can't. Once I start shaking, like, getting it in my body, nah.
Okay.
I'm out of here, man. Or I just tuning out, like, yo. Mm-hmm.
Chris. Oh, let me
No,
guess. Wait, what?
listen,
Huh?
listen. Normally, it's Southwest Airlines for me. Want to get away, but I realize that it causes stalking.
Oh,
Because this is what one girl tell me, because I told her when I met her, I said, listen, I don't know, but I said, them girls be stalking me, understand? And then she said, that's pathetic, right? And then I start talking to her, and then she start doing it. And she tell me, I know why they be stalking you, because you be ignoring them. So it kind of caused that. But then recently now, I've been told that no, you're a fight, aggressive,
okay.
But I guess because I'm changing that shutdown, I'm out of here
Okay.
and just face the music, because communication, I'm evolving, I'm learning communication is key, and courtesy
Mm.
goes a long way. You understand? You have to be courteous to your partner all the way. That's how it lasts. You know what I mean? And communicate too. So that's what I'm trying to do. But I guess the uncle pop out, talking
So,
me in. Yeah.
so speaking of anger, we have a question from the chat that I'm a toss to you guys. Do you think a lot more men have been abused and this plays into their cheating behaviors and anger?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I've heard
Mm-hmm.
stories, man, and I've had a few people confide in me and told me they stories and their situations, but it'll be years later, and it's like, wow, never knew, and they wouldn't speak on it until years later. You know what I mean? So it's like they were holding all that for all these years, and it definitely, I know it did something to them, so it has to play a part. You know what I mean? Trust factors. You know what I mean? And just not being able to truly be themselves and open up fully, always got a wall up or guard it, in some way. It's sad.
That's
The worst part about that is when you go through something like that is you tend to not love yourself, right? And when you don't love yourself, that's like the worst
Yeah.
thing. You understand? Because you're ready. You're on self destruction mode, right? That's when the demons come in big time, like a flood, right? But the good news is you can't get over that, because once you realize who your demons are, and you start recognizing more and more, you can ignore them. You have a choice. You can either give into it, which you're gonna, over time, you're gonna realize, listen, I love myself. The more you're saying you love yourself and shutting down these doubts and fears, there's something else that's gonna come into play. Some people call it if you're religious or spiritual, let's say it's a spirit. And the spirit take you over and you start to love yourself and you start to realize stuff. And some people say your super consciousness or your higher self or whatever it is, but it all equates to the same thing. But the thing is, you have to take your time out to start to shut these down. Listen, this is one of the roughest thing ever, because sometimes it's draining. And then you have other people coming at you too, you have the external coming at you too. It's not just inside you, right? And that's a reflection of you, really. Your reality is a reflection of you. You create your own reality. If you walk into a room with a smile or a frown, it's two totally different reaction and causation is going to happen. You see what I'm saying? So it's up to you.
Anything you guys want to add?
I think that's well said right there, brother. For real.
Yeah.
Facts.
I don't like to hear that the highest percentage of anxiety and depression is amongst our own. Um, I know a lot of that is because we don't have these kind of conversations where we can really let it out and talk through those things. But, we're seeking to change that. I'm curious. I want to know. There's so much I want to know. Like, if you see me kind of pause, it's because there's just so many ways that we could take this conversation. And I know we're not done, but I do want to know, recall a time for me when either fear or doubt or both held you back from a goal or a desire, right? And then what did you learn from that?
All right, you want me to go? All
Sure.
right. So when I was younger, like I just finished high school and I started doing some additional courses, right? Because when I went to high school, my high school was like prison, all man, right? So that probably helped with uncle too. So when I went to this school now, there was this girl there. I had a crush on her, right? But she was like uppity, like real uppity with the real uptown crowd and the rich guys. That so I just figured right there and then that's not me. I mean, she wouldn't even give me the time of day. Now, fast forward maybe a few months later, we're in the same group setting, and she said to me, "Hey, I had a crush on you." I said, "What?" I said, "I didn't know that." Then she go, "Yeah." I said, "So what happened now? What happened now?" She said, "No, I have a boyfriend now." So I was like, "Damn." So right there and then I realized, oh my God, might as well I did just step to her because I still end up losing anyway. It's that fear and that doubt.
Yeah.
If I went with faith, I would have got her. See what I'm saying? But I didn't. So that's my one time.
So what you say? Act on it regardless.
Act. Don't be scared because that's what I'm saying. You're gonna lose anyway if you don't go. If you don't go, and then you have to realize this because a lot of fellas, this is it. Don't take it personally because there's a lot of variables. You're not everybody's type. I'm not everybody's type. So I don't walk around thinking girls like different type. And then you have to take into account time and space. The person might not be the right time for the person because I know you probably liked a girl one point in time and she didn't like you, and then later she like you, right? And then the space that might not be in the right mind space at the time. They might be going through crap right now and can't see anybody. I'm tunnel, I'm hurt, whatever the case may be. So there's a lot of variables. So don't feel bad when you try your shot. Don't get angry. You know what I mean? You must actually be nice. Thanks for your time. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. We have folks in the chat saying, "Thank you guys. This will definitely help me understand my family members." Bonnie to the Beat says, "Make sure you act regardless." Charles, what you adding to this?
Man, I remember a situation towards the beginning of this year. I'll never forget. Crazy. I got a text message from one of my friends. He said, "Yo, stop what you're doing, and I need you to invest. I need you to download Robinhood, and I need you to invest in." Back then, I thought it was dog coin. I'm like, "What is this dog coin?" I ain't never heard of this. 5 cents, man. That ain't gonna make no money. And I ignored it, and I waited. A couple months went by. That's when all the chatter started happening and everybody started talking about it, right? So I'm like, well, shoot, let me go in and let me try to jump in now. I see it's making some traction. I download the app. Now they asking for 1,000,000 questions. They need your bank information. I felt like they needed everything from me. And I'm just like, I don't got time to be giving these people all this information. I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
Do you know from the time that I finally took it serious, it went from 5 cents to up to like $1.50 leash. Do you know If I would have just invested $1,000 back then when at 5 cents, man, I'd be looking at close to retirement, man, from my current 9 to 5 and start my own ventures. I procrastinated, right? The fear, because I didn't know and I didn't want to take the chance and I didn't want to do the research and I didn't want to, you know what I mean? Yeah. Kept me from having an opportunity that was, I'd never heard of it. I didn't know about it. You know, I was on the crypto, Bitcoin stuff, but I didn't know about Doge back then. But I had an opportunity, man, and I let that slip past me. And I just I beat myself across the head every day. Still to this day.
Every day you lock into the job, you're like, man, I could have been over this thing.
Yeah, because you got to catch that train when that train moving. And now, if anybody knows about that crypto, that currency, it's not doing nothing right now. But it was a time when it was on fire. You know what I mean? And I feel like, man, if I had the opportunity, man, to go back, man, I'd have dumped 10, 20, 30,000 into it. You know what I mean? And just let it ride as far as it could. And then I would have cashed out, man. But yeah, it taught me a lesson though. It really taught me, like, and a wise man even told me this before. He was always like, success happens when opportunity meets preparation. You know what I mean? I had the opportunity because somebody gave me the tip. Somebody told me about it, right? But I wasn't prepared. I didn't prepare myself. I didn't make it happen. So I lost out on potential success in that situation. But trust and believe, man, I'm making moves now on other stuff. So
well, I believe it. You're gonna be up to that. And that's the thing, like sometimes like that regret or that miss out will be that fire that continues to light under your behind for those opportunities to come. You like everything else coming to you now, you probably put in a chokehold. You don't even let it get
everything.
past.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you need to invest in this. How much? All right, let's go.
I know, right? Here it is.
I ain't playing.
Mark, before you go, Andy jumped in. He said, dudes, always remember the chick we missed out on due to fear.
Yeah.
All of y'all are like, man.
Yeah.
It's real.
It was fear, and what was the other attribute you threw out? Fear and what else?
Doubt.
And doubt. Right?
And doubt.
Yeah. And so I'm going through my Rolodex of many things, of many missed opportunities. And as I'm thinking about it, I'll throw this out, is that, it's always, you always remember what you missed. But if you think about the times when that fear didn't show, it's always you think about the ones you missed. You don't think about the ones when you did step up, right? So anyway, I think about 86, going to college. And got a scholarship, went to Norfolk State. And I never, I wasn't in a family where my mom could pay for, she said the three options we had was military, go get a job. But if you're going to college, you're on your own. So we knew there was no money in the bucket to send anybody to college. So I didn't want to rack up all of these payments and, get student loans. So I went off to Norfolk State. And after I went with a football scholarship my first year, it came to find out that the person was doing some illegal stuff with our Pell Grant. And my fear was how, I don't want to, my fear was I was too worried about what would happen down the road opposed to taking care of business right now. So I'm thinking 5, 6 years down the road, I don't want to be paying these loans out because my scholarship just got canceled. So I let that be the determining factor of me coming on back home. And then, of course, then as you learn about, paying off, you can take 30 years to pay off your student loan or, black colleges, HBCUs had help, you could take like Pell Grants or other aspects. So I didn't, like you're just saying all that, I didn't do my homework on what other means I had to have taken care of that. And I could have, I want to go to college. I want to be the first in the family to graduate 4-year degree. Yeah. So anyway, I let that get the best of me. And that was something that hadn't even happened yet. So that I always think about, like, man, you think about something that hadn't even, materialized.
Right.
So yeah, fear and doubt.
All right. Jay, you want to recall a time when either fear or doubt or both held you back from a goal or a desire and what you learned from it?
Uh, uh, I mean, shoot, just like recently, man, just like when I tried to really go into being what I want to do, what I feel like this is designed for me to do in this kind of avenue. You know, I've been doubting myself, and I can't think of no skits fast enough. I can't do, so I just don't. You know what I mean? So that is really like that's the biggest thing, and it's
So,
fearful because you are what you put out there.
mm,
That's who you are. You
I
know what
want, I
I'm
want,
saying?
I want to address what the last, I can't pronounce the first name, Sadidra, Miss Edge, right? And JJ is saying the same thing, right? You notice JJ said, I feel like this is for me.
mm,
This is what a lot of people don't know. When you have a desire, a strong desire, that's a constitution of your actual being.
mm,
That's your purpose. You would not have that desire if it wasn't a constitute your whole being, right? So my desire might be different from yours. I might want $1 billion. You might just want to be a good teacher. You might just, everybody has different desires, but we are taught to suppress that desire. And that's where the different parts of the mind come into play, because the conscious part of your mind feeds off of the external world, all the stuff that you take in, the news, your past experiences, good, bad, right? And then it tells you, it comes back to you and tabulate and give you, according to the data, you shouldn't do this.
mhm.
But if you notice, if you go with your gut feeling and you trust it, you don't really know how it's going to happen, but you start realizing in retrospect, oh, this happened, so I can get to this, to this. So your actual desire is your actual true identity. I know I'm a black man and I'm a Jamaican, but before that, I'm a being. Because when this birthday suit mash up, you get what I'm saying? I'm the real me. My spirit is moving on.
Mm.
And you're here for a purpose. And a man without a goal or a purpose is just existing. You're no longer living. And that's why you get depressed. And that's why no matter what you have, I have a beautiful, good wife. I have my house, I have my car, I have my this, and I'm still not happy because you're settling. You're not doing what you came here to do. And it usually involves giving back.
That giving back part, I feel like doesn't get talked about enough. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say we've become selfish, because I know personally a lot of people that are on the move to impact others. But if we were to think of our gifts as a borrow from God, like, hey, I'm going to let you hold this real
Mm-hmm.
quick. And
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like our responsibility to return it empty, as crazy as that sounds. But it's like, you don't want to return it the way he gave it to you. You want to return it like, man, I used the mess out of this thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
he could
Yes.
handle what
Yes.
you get back to him. But it's like, do you really want to go back to him saying, I mean, I didn't know what to do with it, so I just held on to it.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's actually a fear. I have a fear of not using what was given to me to use. And so my boy messed with me this week because he's like, you just kind of all over the place with what you're doing, huh? You just like in field days, you doing panels with guys, you just, and I was like, I don't know. I need to do something, right? Like sometimes you just want to do something because you know what it's like to sit back, and it ate at me to just not do anything. And then Shadidra asked, she said, what would you do if he took it away? I'd be pissed. Let me tell you something. Let my talent or my gift that he gave me to hold on to go to the next person who's less talented, You know what I'm saying? Like, but just more willing. I would be hot. I ain't gonna lie. I would be hot.
And you almost see that because you see people that, I mean, not to put yourself above people, but you know what you can do.
Right.
And you see people exceeding, and I know I can exceed above that. I know I can. And you just steady watching these dudes every
Yeah.
But
You
it comes back to what
see people doing more with less, and you're like,
Yeah.
ah.
Got all this, but look what I got. You know what I'm saying?
it comes back to what Holiday said about preparation. That you need to be prepared for when opportunity meets preparation. And right now, we was sitting there, me and Sandra sitting there the other night talking about you look at these superstars, like sports players. If any guys play sports, I think most of you did. I remember in Little League, uh, seeing somebody like, damn, he's just way better than everybody else. Like, how is he just running and catching and just doing things? The deal with basketball, they just have that talent, and then they get the right exposure. So the average person lives within 20-mile radius of where they were born, and I think it's less than that. Meaning that you haven't been exposed, so you might have this inner desire, but you haven't been exposed to know that your brain can actually become, something bigger. So you have this burning desire, but if that opportunity never, hey, you know what? Let's go to the museum. Have you ever been to a museum before? No. Let's travel. Let's go to a national football game, or get you to expose to see to like that little desire that you have in there. And when you see other people doing it, now you know it can be done. I mean, not just on TV. I see Chris go write a book. That's somebody I know who just wrote a book and became successful. That encouraged you to want to step up and start doing things. So, like you, Alicia, you're saying how that your boy asking you, hey, you all over the place. But all it's gonna take is one person to be looking at one of these, one of our casts, and like, man, you know something. And then when opportunity knocks, you say it again.
I said and then it's a wrap. We all taken care of. You hear that, Tyler Perry? We'd all be taken care. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No, you're not kidding. You're not kidding at all.
I'm not kidding at all.
Yeah. but showing up though. Opportunity meets preparation.
Unique gives us she says, when you start looking within yourself and focus less on the external, your power finds you. The external can be distractions. Let me tell you something about that outage that happened this week, though, because that was such a refreshing. I mean, at first, I ain't gonna lie, I thought like the internet was down. We resetting phones, trying to figure out what's going on. But it just got me thinking, like, okay, there can come a day where everything just shuts off and turns down. Are you gonna be okay, solo dolo? Like, are you gonna be okay with yourself and your thoughts, and like, are you prepared for that? Do you need the external so much that if it goes away overnight, you can't function? And I know there's some that is answering that, saying, no, I can't, and I don't want to be able to function, you know what I mean? But it's a serious thing to consider. Y'all want to add anything before I move on?
Yeah, because think about it like this, Leash. Because you brought up a good point. Think about what we just went through, right, with this whole pandemic and the whole world shutting down. There wasn't no clubs to go to, wasn't no parks to go to. You were stuck in the house, right? And unfortunately, a lot of people even suffer from losing employment, right? So in the beginning, it was panic. What are we going to do? How are we going to survive? But what I realized was, man, people's creative minds, man, and their talents started shining and shining bright like a star. And people started creating businesses, man, and really getting on their grind, they hustle, and finding a way. Some people were starting to, their income and their finances actually started to level up, man, and they were making more than they were making working their 9 to 5.
Exactly.
That's a blessing. So those outages sometimes I feel like are necessary.
It is
that we really don't need these things. When we have those hurricanes and sometimes all the lights go out and you don't have no power to watch TV and all that, some of the best hurricane parties come out of these hurricanes. I'm telling you, somebody got a generator, somebody got some coolers, somebody got some food, and y'all gonna have a party and y'all gonna party like it's 1999. I'm telling you.
I believe it.
This.
Important, man.
Let me tell you something. I hear a lot of people saying external is distraction, which is true. And one of the worst things I see is where it's external is most of the churches you go to. They're very external. What they talk about, for example, Judas, right? They talk about Judas and they go, oh, and people point finger. Oh, you a Judas. Oh, you over there is a Judas. Your Judas is within you. Whatever you don't discipline within you, right? That's why they have disciples. Disciples
we're not ready.
discipline.
Hold on. Whoa.
No, but you have the 12 faculties of your mind.
Did he
And
just
each
say that
disciple
Judas is
represents one faculty, which is discipline. And if you don't discipline one faculty of your mind, that's going to come back and get you. And that is your Judas. That's why you see guys work so hard all their life. They're a judge now. Do you know how much discipline it took for me to get there? But then I didn't discipline my sexual perversion, or I didn't discipline this drug habit that I have, or I didn't discipline this, and that's your real Judas. So the Bible is really more, yes, it's external, but it represents a lot internal within your mind. But because of the Meritorious Manumission Act of 1810, a lot of these ministers use it on black people so you can cling to the old rugged cross and say, oh, and suffer and all that stuff. You know what Charles just said? Create. You have God in you. You can create. But when you do these external things, tell you what you can't do. And a lot of these people who are wealthy, they know this secret. But they keep it from you because they want to run this thing the way they want to run this thing. So you need to change the way you're looking at stuff and stop pointing fingers at each other, because the moment you start fighting your own demons, your compassion to other people will increase, because now you understand. Oh, I see why you're getting angry. I understand why you have doubt. I understand why you have fear, because I really got down internal in myself, and it's such a hard fight. So I understand. It's like somebody who was on crack and going to deal with somebody who is on crack now. The other person who wasn't on crack be like, I'm guilty of this. I'm gonna say, we're crackhead, right? But I don't have no compassion because I didn't go through it. So I like what everybody's saying, all the comments, external. So I say people really, really woke, and people take the red pill. So that's good.
Mark?
Yeah. I can't follow that what Chris just said.
I don't know who can.
Because I mean, I agree with what he said, and he said something earlier about our spiritual being. So we've lost our connection to our Heavenly Father, right? Because we think we exist separate and apart from Him. We think Mark exists as a separate man of our Heavenly Father, when you are nothing more than Him walking around in a fleshly body. Because if He's the creator of all and everything came from Him, then where did your being come from? It came from Him. So we come to this life and we're trying to grasp on. We're looking for happiness, right? We're looking for something to fulfill. And I think one of you all said it before, that inner desire you're trying to fulfill. Some people find their what do you want to call it? Their passion, and some people spend the rest of their life looking for it. And that's what I mean by, Prince, Michael Jackson. You think about these people who found their passion at an early age and it just took off. When you find your true passion, like they say, when you're working within your passion, it's no longer a job.
Yeah.
Right? But some people have never been exposed, have been allowed to be exposed to their passion. So there's an inner person inside of you. There's a being that's wrapped up inside of this fleshly body, right? That has a desire, and this desire is to know its creator. But we look at it as, I want to obtain this, I want to obtain that. You look at people like don't know how many people have so much money and so much power and wealth, and they go out and commit suicide. Why? Because they weren't happy. They obtained all that, but they didn't have
They didn't
happiness
go with
within.
their Judas.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So
They didn't connect.
that's
They
why,
didn't connect with that
yeah,
their own higher self. Yeah.
exactly, and that's why what JJ, what he was expressing earlier, and what we need to make sure we do is make sure that we stay connected one to the Heavenly Father. You all know I'm a true believer in knowing your Heavenly Father, Yahweh, that He really is and actually exists, and you have to stay connected to Him. And but also you can do that, and as Chris was saying with the churches, you can do that and live a good life, but don't lose track of what's important, because at the end of the day, when you go 6 feet under, whatever you acquired in this life does not go with
Yeah.
you. So all this is good to have a good life. Everybody want to have a peaceful life, leave a little something for the family, a little wealth, and enjoy life, be able to travel, but have a good time. But are you doing it because it's your passion, or are you doing it because you're looking for something? So right now, Alicia, what you're doing, to me, this is your passion. Even when you're out there doing the field, couple, you are trying to extend yourself out to help others, right? And this is a passion of yours. Although you don't look very passionate sitting back there like right now, being passionate, you know. But yeah, so this is your passion. So so we are just in your flow right now. We're in your wake of
Thanks,
your passion.
Mark. Jay,
Yeah.
you're up.
What's the question? Like, we talking about so much, like, for real. Like, what's the original question? Are we talking about God right now? Because yeah, we are rapping God. You know what I'm saying? Like, we rap like that. You know what I mean? We are connected with. Some people got higher connections to, the higher self and things like that. When you come across them people and it can shake you up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you like at a lower level of vibration like that, man, it will shake you up. And that's why you got the haters and all that kind of stuff. It shakes them up. They ain't used to that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when you get some people around, some people that's vibrating at your same capacity and knowing what it's a good feeling. So what's the question, yo?
I know this one was.
We don't even know.
If this is the first time you're tuning in, listen, just rock with us, okay? Because it's not always planned, but it's always honest and it's always transparent. But
JJ, I've been known to take the train off the tracks just a little bit, but Chris usually steer me back. He let me go on this.
I was trying to catch I was on the track. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, where are we going?
Wait, hold on, because
Charles'
tie-in game is on point. So let me throw it to Charles and see if he can give us that good old tie-in. Let's see. Go ahead, Charles.
I don't know what the question is either.
The conversation was getting good. It's good.
Hey, listen, once Chris went though with it, I already knew that Mark was going to piggyback and catch it, right? So I said, "Oh, Mark, catch the alley." So Mark went there, and I'm like, "Wait, but are we still on that topic?" They just closing out.
No, we are.
This one.
You want to jump to another one?
All right. So I'll close it out with this then. So all right. So final question. This goes for my folks in the chat too. So let us know. But how do you reach for happiness, hope, and healing? How are you reaching for happiness, hope, and healing? So for my folks in the chat, go ahead and get your answers together because we're curious to know. You might give me some thought on how I can reach for happiness, hope, and healing. But Holiday, you want to go first?
So let's see. Happiness, hope, and healing, right?
Yeah. You can choose one if one stands out to you most.
I probably could touch on all three real quick. But for happiness, I reached to my family, man. I reached to my family. I reached to my kids. Man, my son, man, brings me so much joy and happiness, man. It's unbelievable, man. And I need that, especially with a lot that I be going through. So the happiness comes from family, you know what I mean? And I'm very family oriented, right? So I spend time with my family. I really try to make time for the family, even if we just hanging around, playing cards or dominoes or something and cracking jokes. Those times, man, bring me so much happiness and joy, right? Hope. What brings me hope? Knowing that I get up every day, man, and I keep grinding, I keep trying, keep putting myself out there, man. Keeping myself open for new opportunities, continuing to network, man, because I'm hopeful, man, that day is gonna come, man, when something is gonna stick, something's gonna lock, and I'm finna catapult, I'm finna skyrocket. You know what I mean? So that's my hope. I just gotta continue to do that, right? Consistency breeds success. And happiness, hope, and what was the other one?
Healing.
What brings me healing? Man, y'all know my addiction, man. I'm still working on it, man. I'm a work in progress. But that used to bring me healing, man. I tell you, it's true, man. I can just take my medicine and I swear I'm floating. I'm on cloud 10. I'm third rock from the sun. I'm great. But now what brings me healing is in the gym, man, working out, being able to use that as an outlet, man, to vent, use that as an outlet to express myself, to let it off, to get it off me. You know what I mean? Get it off my chest. I need that, and I yearn for that. And I feel like when I don't go in the gym, or if I take a day or two off, man, that I'm falling off. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't feel the same. My bones hurt, my knees sore. You know what I mean? I feel like I need that. That's my healing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, that's my 3, man.
All right, Mark.
Happiness, hope, and healing. Right?
How do you reach for it?
How do you reach for it?
Hold on, our chat is kind of quiet over here. Let me see if I missed any comments. Let us know, how do you reach for happiness, healing, and hope? We'll call on some of y'all. Let me see, because we're not shy at this point. So Andy, Yanish, Shadidra, go ahead. Candace, let us know. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Mark. So reason for happiness, being around loved ones. That's my happiness. Being around my family, being around my kids. That to me just brings me happiness. My nephews. I wish that, all of them are in Florida, but I stay in contact with them. That's what brings me my physical happiness. My true happiness, and I'm gonna pick up where I left off. The reason why I'm out here in California is my spirituality. My belief, my Heavenly Father, and knowing that He doesn't exist way above the sun, moon, and stars. That He's right here walking among us with me every day, all day. Even when I'm by myself, He's right there with me. So happiness is knowing that I didn't know Him, that He knows me. Right? My healing comes from, as Harley was saying, I've gotten back into one day I look to be as big as him and Chris. The guns, the guns are getting there. The guns are getting there.
You got it, Mark.
So, yeah.
Those guys go to the gym and work out their arms, but then they got like a whole belly.
No, we don't do. We get legs. Yeah, we get leg day. We get leg day in.
Okay, so you don't look like a frog. Okay, cool.
No, lollipop.
No.
That's what you look like, a lollipop.
And now I think people, and even having started eating better, people don't understand how your digestive system plays such a major part in your body. Just your feeling of your body. We'll eat.
Listen,
we'll exercise.
You about to get your niche turned up because she's all about nutrition and intake and all of that. So she's about to look. She's about to
get your sea moss on, fellas. Get your sea moss. Get your
say it again, Holiday. and fellas, like the commercial says, she'll enjoy it also. Get that sea moss in. She'll thank you for it later.
Oh, trust me.
But yeah, so that's like my healing and my happiness and joy again. Our family, spirituality, know my Heavenly Father. Healing comes in with my working out, trying to eat better. And the funny thing with eating is the more you try to eat better, the more you find out how bad you've been eating and how much bad crap is out there. And it's not set up for you to eat right. So educating myself on that has been a great benefit. So yeah, that's it for me.
All
Hey,
right.
tell your niece to share them gluten-free cookies too, man.
You hear that, Yan? They need you to drop the recipe.
We need it. We need it.
She also said happiness is passion work, quality time with loved ones. Hope is seeing the progress of myself or others. Her healing struck me. She said being confronted with the same or similar problems and not being affected the same way. Listen, that right there is that's a whole vibe. Idris says, honestly, doing all things with purpose intentionally. Oh, I like that too. Jay, let me go to you. How do you reach for happiness, hope, and healing?
Happiness, hope, and healing, and this is just because I'm in the space that I am in right now. That I've been trying to really focus on who I am is happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like really getting a grasp on everything. You know, like this is happiness. You know, also the hope is just the faith. You know that you have faith in going through, getting tested, and in the forward like blacksmith, and you know what I'm saying, that fire, that pounding. Then you gotta go get grinded. Then you gotta get back in the heat, then get quenched. Then you gotta get polished. And you ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be your healing right there, I feel like. You know, on the side of that, you went through all this stuff, you know, and then you come out polished. What? Come on, man. That's healing in itself right there, man. Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Chris?
I want to address Yanisha. I agree. Because she said pretty much what she's saying is evaluated experience. Most of the time, people say experience is the best teacher, but you need to add evaluated in there because you have old fools that go through the same thing over and over and over and over and over and do the same thing over and over, like people voting, black people voting for Democrats over and over and over again, and nothing happens, right? So you have to have evaluated experience. But for me, you know, you guys might not be, agree with me. But for me, I don't really like the word hope because it's kind of riddled with doubt for me. You have to know, right? When you have faith, you have to just know. It's like I just know I'm gonna turn this key in this car and it's gonna start, and I'm gonna go to the gym because I'm not working anymore, right? But anyway, but let me kill all of them with one stone. For me, quality time alone and monitoring my thoughts, because my thoughts lead to words. And the Bible states, as a man thinketh, so is he, right? But I don't want to get too biblical on you, so let me just take it from a scientific perspective. There's this doctor, this neuroscientist that I've watched sometimes, right? And he pretty much explores the intersection of neuroscience, egenetics, and quantum physics with a conviction of potential for greatness within you, right? Where he says your thought is an electric charge to the quantum field, and the feeling is a magnetic charge. So however you feel, and the external is what you're gonna magnetize to you. So if you notice that you start to think different and you start feeling different, you're gonna have friends dropping off, and then you're gonna start attracting different type of people, right? But for me, for the healing and all that stuff, is that quality time. I'm constantly monitoring my thoughts. In other words, I'm monitoring these demons, right? And the more I shut them down, is the more I get the God part of me, God mind of me. You see what I'm saying? Some people call it the source, like this neuroscientist call it the source, but everybody have to admit there's a creator, right? But that's what I have to do. And the more you drown out the external, the more the God voice in you come. And like Miss Edge said, the gut, the hunch, the intuition, the subconscious doesn't show you logics, or what corporate call it unconscious, because corporate doing a lot of unconscious bias courses because of George Floyd, right? But they either call it unconscious or subconscious. The subconscious gets stuff done regardless. You don't know how, but it's gonna get done. You just have to trust it, right? Or the super conscious part of your mind, whatever it is, right? But That's how you actually heal. And people can actually heal themselves like that. And you actually have people who tune in so deep that they can heal you, right? They can be a metaphysician. And even when you're in the gym too, if people don't believe in metaphysics, because I even tried to say something to my, what you going into? Because my mom is old school, you know, clean old rugged cross, you know, and never exchange it for a crown, right? But I see with her, you see what I'm saying? But the point is, when I go to the gym, the most effective thing for you to do to get the muscle is mind muscle connection. That's metaphysics, right? I'm connecting my mind with my muscle. I am focusing on the feeling of that muscle. And that has proven to build more than anything else. So, so your healing to me is just, for me, is just monitoring my thoughts. And more I drown them out, the more and more I invite my higher self.
So can I just say that
right.
I'm so refreshed at the level of spirituality I'm hearing amongst you guys. Like, you know, if we were to just go off church attendance, you would think black men just, you know, they ain't going to church, they ain't spiritual. But just throughout this conversation, it's been so refreshing to hear how in tune you all are in your spirituality. Like, and it's encouraging too. It's just a breath of fresh air, because that's definitely not something that is highlighted or talked about as much. You know, Black women will be at church, you know, all the time, or to speak more about their spirituality. But I thank you guys for letting us in your thoughts around that. I know the gist of the conversation wasn't necessarily about spirituality, but if you're talking about mind and mental warfare and stuff, you can't help but incorporate it, because that's what it is, right? Yeah, that's dope. Charles, did you want to say something? I don't know if you, not to put you on the spot, but I thought
yeah, I'm like, I don't know how we follow up to Chris, man. That was like a mic dropper right there, man.
Really
I actually agree.
This was Apostle Chris tonight. Like we wasn't ready for
it.
It
Ain't me.
Nah, but
it ain't me. Trust me.
I really do agree with Chris, though. I do believe that we can manifest the things that we want out of life, right? We can speak life into situations, and these things can come to fruition. So I definitely am a believer of law of attraction and things of that nature. And so we have to be cautious and mindful of the things that we do speak, because we can speak life or death over things. So that's why I'm a firm believer of making sure that I keep myself surrounded by positive and positivity, because positive things create and positive things happen. And try to keep myself, you know, outside of the negative, out of the drama, the feedback, the, you know, anything that is not right for me spiritually, mentally, emotionally. You know, I just really try to block out of my life right now, and that's what keeps me on a higher vibration. So
I'm gonna cut it. I don't want to. I don't want to, but I do want to be mindful of time. But this conversation was just so rich on so many levels. It started out the gate just being what it needed to be for tonight. And so I appreciate every one of you guys for being a part of this discussion. Any last words? I don't want to cut it off without anyone getting a chance to say something. You guys are good there? Okay. All right. So I know we can keep this going, but we are going to call it for tonight. But the good thing is that we'll be right back here next Wednesday. And we don't have to stop there, right? Like it doesn't have to end. I highly recommend you guys connect with these fellas throughout the week. They do have jobs. So they might not respond to you right away, but you know, if there's something that you want to ask one of them, or if there's something you want to connect with, or you want advice, or you want to encourage, or you just something that they said resonated with you, I encourage you guys to reach out to them. You'll see their social media information on our 828 page. I'm not giving out no phone numbers because I don't need no problems with the misses, but just be respectful as you reach out to them. But this is a community, right? Like we're doing all of this together. So yeah, we iron sharpens iron here. But anyway, yeah, connect with us on Instagram and Facebook at 828 Concepts, and then you'll get more info on He.Motions. If you haven't already, I hate to be one of those typical subscribe and like our channel and leave a comment, but you know,
But we do want you to
Smash
subscribe
that
and
like
like our channel.
Comment, guys.
I ain't asking. Smash that like button.
Right. Hit that
Like,
like.
Hit that bell.
Smash that like
Hit
button.
that
Right.
notification.
Hit that button.
smash the like button, but also let us know what you want to hear about, right? Like we're bringing you the topics that are on our hearts and on our minds, but if there's something that you want us to dive into, don't be shy, let us know, and we'll bring it to the forefront. But until next Wednesday, we'll see you all soon. Walk good.